officer shooting a burglary suspect last month. A press conference just started moments ago. Here's a live look right there. We have a news crew listening in. Investigators say the shooting happened July 26 when police responded to a break-in in progress near the corner of West Broadway and South 5th Street. When officers arrived, they say two people were running away. They arrested one person, but the other was still on the loose. Police say the suspect had a gun and refused to drop it when an officer ordered them to do so. Lieutenant Brandon Hogan shot this suspect, who was taken to the hospital and survived. Hogan's personnel file with LMPD indicates he shot and killed a man who was holding his wife at knife point at Colonial Oaks Apartments in 2018. He was cleared of wrongdoing in that case. We'll share what we learned from the body camera video and that press conference later today on